Hi, in this video, this is more like an experimental video, we will add a new component to Doozy UI Manager, a new thing. I haven't done this before and everything will be live. And we will be adding a new component called UIBadge. So a badge is a silent notification that is attached to icons or objects. Let's say you receive a message and you have a bell icon or an envelope or message icon and a red dot appears. Let's say you receive 5 messages, it will be a red dot with a 5 inside. Or maybe you have a shop and you just added new items in your online shop for your app or for your game, and you want to add a small badge called new. Or maybe you have a sale and you want to write sale on some of these items. Well, this is the component that will help you do that with ease. So basically, the most important part is that it shows a notification and a counter and so on, and maybe some text. All right. Now, what you will see in this video, I'm just getting things ready, is things that we haven't shown before. This is in part how the sausage is made. Okay, so basically you will see a lot of code inside the Doozy UI Manager and how we mix things up. I'm also going to explain the thought process so that you will see how a new thing is added from start to finish. This is a very simple component, in my opinion. And yeah, let's dive right into it. All right. So, like I said, this component is a UI badge. All right. Can I show you some examples actually? So, badge example, UI UX. I haven't thought of that. Oh, there you go. So I can share. So basically, this is the badge. All right. So the thing that you're showing somewhere. I see we have different examples of how it can look. All right. So yeah, this is the thing that we'll be creating. So you'll be able to have show and hide animations. All right. So yeah, let me show you how this works. The secret thing, right? All right. So let's see. I will talk a lot of stupid things, by the way, because this is also a thought process for me, and I really don't know how this will turn up. Maybe you won't see this video if it's bad, but I hope I'll be able to show it to you. All right. So what is a badge? Okay, so this is my thought process now. It's not a component, because a component would be something that the user interacts with. So it can click, it can select. So this is not it. It can be a container. A container has, it's not interactable, but has show and hide animations. And this basically, it's a container that has a text element inside of it. It can also be content, because content is usually static and it's non-interactable. But for this, I think the UI badge is a container, and it's going to have a UI container as its base component. All right. So I'm going to say this is a container. So under runtime UI Manager containers, I'm going to create a new component, a new class. Okay, so we know what we're talking about, and I'm going to call it UI badge. And let's do just that. So can you see it? Yes. Runtime UI Manager containers, and this is where I'm going to create a new thing called UI badge. This is the beginning of of us creating a component, right? And just like the UI view, and let me open one because I need to remember all the crazy things that I need to add. I'm going to zoom in a bit for you. Can you see it better? I hope so. All right, so I'm going to get the disclaimer. What else do I know? It's under containers. I need a presentation for it, and I usually create partial classes. So all our components are partial classes to allow you to inject other functionalities or to access private things should you need to do that. And I think this is very important to have a high modularity, high degree of modularity in a system, right? So I'm going to say partial class. Although this isn't ideal and opens up a whole can of worms with other issues that can arise from this. But I believe that because this tool is meant for developers, I think that you should have as much access to everything as possible, and you should even have access to break things. And this is a UI container component. So this is this is the base class for our UI container. So I'm going to say UI container component, type of UIBadge. If you're curious how this looks, well, this is our base class for UI for whatever we create on top of the UI container element. So it has a database that you can access, and actually this is the gist of it, because the base code for the UI container is right here, that has show, hide, and all the other stuff. All right. So what do I have here? So it's a UIBadge, UI container. Let's add a summary. And what should we say here? A container that shows a notification, counts. That no, that's not it. So let's say badges show notification, counts, or status information on various elements in the UI. Yeah, basically this would be the gist of it, right? So let's also close the summary. All right. Now, of course, do we need a canvas? No, graphic canvas. We need a rect transform, and we want to add it to a component menu. So I'm going to say add component menu. Oh, this should be, and this will be my UIBadge. All right. What else do we need? Well, we need a way to create one. So I'm just going to copy this. I really don't want to write everything. And this will be UIBadge. And this will be UIBadge. Oh. Come on. And this will be UIBadge. Okay. Of course, this I can also say here name of UIBadge. Yeah, I think this is better. Right. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now we can we have a way of creating this component in the Unity editor. And let's go back, and I'm going to show you what we've done. So because I've added to the component menu, I can access it in the hierarchy. And here in the game object, I can access it. Actually, let me show you instead of telling you. So if I want to create a new, let's add a canvas, right? Let's enable new event system. Let's make the canvas screen space camera. And let's set a resolution. Yeah, that's pretty much okay. Let me see it. All right. So now I can go to, if you remember, Doozy UI containers UIBadge, right? So let's come here and say Doozy UI containers, and here I can create a UIBadge, and this is my component. Now, because this is one of our inside our systems, as you can see, it uses the default UI container editor. Now, of course, this means that I can already show and hide. Let's add a UI container UI animator, all right? And now I should be able to show and hide. Let's also add a background so we can see it. And this will be my background. And this white is a bit crazy. Let's go for an insane red, all right? And actually, let's go for a circle. Clean 32. Yeah, that should be all right. And let's make this 32. Let's make it small, right? So this would be our badge that we can now hide and show. Actually, let's go with a scale animation. So let's go to our presets and select a scale animation. Scale. Where is it? Drift, shake, slide, spin, zoom. Yeah, let's go load animation. So show, perfect. And let's make another zoom animation. Yeah, load, hide. There you go. Now I have a simple animation. Now this looks easy, but it's not easy because it has a lot of systems behind it, and we're building on top of them, right? So now I have my UI badge. Now you may have noticed that we have images here that depict our classes. So as you can see, we have these images, and you can also assign a custom texture for your classes, and I'm gonna do that just now. And now I need to go into the editor part. All right, so I'm going to UI Manager, and we need to add a class icon. All right, I already have a class icon for that. Our designer, our fantastic designer, created one, and let me see where it is. Class icons, PNG, class icon UI badge. So basically, oh, interesting design. I haven't seen it yet. So this is the icon. It's a simple PNG file, and I'm gonna add it here. All right, and you will notice that because this is an editor-only file, the texture type needs to be editor GUI, legacy GUI, and with these settings. So I'm gonna go editor GUI, and I think let's go with this. No compression. I think this is the correct setting. Did I miss anything? Yeah, map. All right. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So these are the settings for my class icon. So the class icon will also be visible in the scene view. Let me show you. Where do I see the? I always forget. All right, so 3D icons. So I would like to be able to see an icon for this. Now, of course, I can see the icon for the UI animator, is this one, but I also want to see the icon for my badge, for my class, all right? So how can I assign this texture to my class? And I'm gonna show you how to do that. You go back here to your class, and you go here, other, and I'll say class icon UI badge, and I've just added it. I'm gonna click, and now I'm gonna wait for Unity to compile, and that's pretty much it. Now you have a nice looking icon for your custom class. Sorry, I need some coffee. All right, so yeah, there you go. Now I have it. Note that this this shadow is created by us. So can I open it? What did I do? Oh, I just opened the code. Yeah, I don't care. All right, now the badge also has a texture and a sprite animation, but we will get to that later. All right. So now that I have my badge here, I need to start creating a custom editor for it, and then we will be doing a lot of other stuff, right? So in my editor side, under UI Manager, editors, containers, I'm going to create a new class and say UIBadge editor. All right. UIBadge editor. There you go. Now, again, I don't know this by heart, so I need to copy from a different editor. From this one, for example. Yeah, I'm going to leave it here. So what do I need? Well, I need the copyright, of course. And I think we have an internal editor for all containers. Yeah, so it should be a base UI container editor. All right, I'm just going to add that and import the required references. Now, in order to create a custom editor, it already knows. In order to create a custom editor for a class, I need to, so I basically extend from Unity editor because at its base, this class does exactly that. It's a Unity editor with some specialized settings for UI container. That's why you already see the, where is it? That's why you already see a functioning UI inside the editor when I just created a empty class, basically. Because what does my UI badge contain? Nothing. It's an empty class, a shell, right? All right. So that's why you see this editor, because it already has a lot of other stuff. All right. Let's come back to our UI badge editor. All right. So I need to say this is a custom editor type of, it already said that, UI badge. And this setting is set to true because just like the UI container, when you extend something from it, its children will use by default their editor. And again, this is the same thing. All right. And I also want another option, can edit multiple objects. So basically, if you select more than one badge, so you'll be able to change the settings. Otherwise, it's one by one. All right. So these are the flags that I want to add. Let's see what else we have here. We need a way to cast it. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. So do I set them public? Yeah. Public UI badge, cast the target. And no, that's not that. It public number one of UI badge, and I'm going to say cast the targets, and I'm going to use link to get this. All right. This is a way to access. So basically, I'm casting. Oh, I don't like what that looks like. This is a way to access the class itself, right? And what do we have here? An ID. Do you want to add an ID to our badge? Nope, I don't want to do that. And yeah, that's all that this view has, an ID and an orientation setting. Other than that, it looks pretty much fine. All right. What else did I say that I want my UI badge to have? Well, I said I wanted to have a text inside of it. So basically a text mesh pro component, right? So I'm going to say serialize field, private, text mesh pro UGUI. And let's call this label, right? So we can have a private thing. And then I'm going to say public. Let's access it via a property label. There you go. So now we have access to it. Now we need a way to access this particular property. All right. So I need a private serialized property label. All right. And then I'm going to say override file properties. It already knows how I like to to code, but because this is a serialized field, I need to pass the name. There you go. So I'm getting the serialized property. If you haven't watched, I think I did another video before this one. I need to remember how it's called. Something with Unity scriptable object singleton. That is where I explain the process of creating custom editors. I strongly suggest you watch it, right? And what do I need here? Well, I need a way to show this property label, and usually I use an input field, a fluid field. I'm say private fluid field, and I'm gonna say label fluid field. All right. Now I'm also gonna override initialize editor, and here I need to create my I need an object field, of course, to get the reference, and oh yeah, I need to change the component header. I need my fluid field, so I'm gonna say var label object field, and I'm gonna get it like that, and type of this is a text mesh pro UGUI. All right, and let's also set it flexible to flex 1, set flex grow 1. All right, and now I need a fluid field get set label, and this is our label. All right, I think I also need a custom component header. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put it right here, and this will be UI badge. And I also need a, and I do not want, this will be proper UI badge, something like that. All right, and that's pretty much it. Let's also inject it. Where did we inject the fluid field? Here. So inside the toolbar, did we do anything? Yeah, the rename. Yeah, I also want that. And here in the compose, yeah, I want that, this class. All right, so let's do the composition. And we're gonna keep all this. And here I'm gonna say, I don't need these two. And I'm gonna say label fluid field. Perfect. And now just by adding these simple things, I have a custom editor. Now I need a an animated icon for it. And let's go back to it and see how it looks. All right, let's deselect it. Okay, so this is how this crazy thing looks now. I think we need to change some things here, but other than that, here I have my label. And yeah, so settings. I think I can inject this inside the settings, maybe. That would be an idea. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so I need an animated icon, and I'm going to show you how to add a texture. So basically, in my dashboard, in the editor UI part, I need, for my components, I need an animated icon. That's very important. And I also need actually in the UI Manager icons. All right, so here we have our icons, our components. And yeah, I would definitely like to add this, add these here. So where are they? These are my icons. So I need to add my icon. I know we have one here. Let me get it. PNG. I think it's under general. Yeah, UIBadge. So I'm gonna bring it right here. And this is my icon. And here I'm gonna say load PNG files from current folder and save. So just by doing that, I just added this particular icon, static icon, to my to the system. This is how how easy you add a new thing. And it should be at UIBadge. There you go. And I can also use it in code right away because custom code has been generated. So I can say editor textures, UI Manager, icons, UIBadge. There you go. I can already use it. So now I'm going to add a static icon. And after that, I'm going to switch it with an animated one, just so you can see how easy this works. I can do that because once I added this to the system, when I clicked that particular button, that load all files and then saved, when I load it, it will search through this folder and inject it here. And when I save, it will add it to the database and write code. So basically, we have a special class that has been generated right here. So this code has been generated for me. That's why I can use it. And it's quite huge. This entire class is always generated. Generated class, do not edit. There you go. And we have a lot of things that work like that in the editor for ease of use. All right, so now if I come back here, you'll see that I have a icon, a static icon, but I also want to have an animated one because yeah, it's fun to have animations, micro animations. And I'm going to go to sprite sheets, icons. I'm under the UI manager. So basically I want to cancel. I want to add it. Cancel, come on. Cancel. Revert. There you go. So these are my animations, and they are basically some textures. I think you can see them here. And there you go. This is the animation. I don't know why this tries to apply some settings for whatever reason. Oh, leave me alone. Cancel. Unapply settings. What is wrong with you? Not trying to apply anything. Okay, apply. Just leave me unapply and import settings. Well, this is something that can mess up a video because I'm not going to edit this. So let's do a load. Jesus Christ. Okay, so what do I have here? Will you leave me alone now? Yeah, thank you. Let me show you our animated icons. Come on. PNG, UIBadge. So basically here, I have these icons, all right? View. So our fantastic designer made this animation with After Effects. And now I need to inject it into Unity and have only one file, right? So view list, all right? So I'm gonna add all of them here. And here we have an option to say Doozy. Actually, I'm gonna select this. Doozy convert to sprite sheet. It's gonna find this and it's gonna make them into a single file. All right, this is my file. Perfect. And now let's also load file from current folder and we should be able to see it. Where is it? There you go. Cute animation. I like it. All right. And save. Like I said, when I'm saving, I'm also writing some code. And yeah, this should be ready quite soon. Let's hide these 3D icons from the scene. And then we will apply the animated icon. This is really a very simple component. All right. Perfect. Now, let's come back here And instead of editor textures, I'm going to say editor sprite sheets. And that's pretty much it. Now I just switch from a, let's say, from a static image to the animated one. And now I have a animated bar. Now we also need to fix the issue with the spacing. I don't know why that's there and why it looks like that, but we're gonna fix it in a second. I think we also need to rename it. So let's come back here. Oh, everything has been fixed. There you go. Now it also has a rename function. Does it work? Because if it doesn't work, I don't know why we have this. Basically, this is a sorting thing. Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah, it's perfect. I thought it was a rename. No, it's okay. So we have callbacks on show and hide. We have progressors and settings and all the crazy things. So hide, show, yeah, just using a custom animation. Now I need a label to be added inside of it. So I'm going to create a text mesh pro component, and this will be my label, right? And let's reference it here. All right. And now we need to do some settings on our component. So I would like my badge to grow with the text inside of it. And since this is our, I want to say, layout element, ignore layout, right, for this, for the background. And here I want to say horizontal layout group, because this is the one that allows me to resize everything. And I also say a content size fitter, go with preferred and preferred. There you go. Now my text resizes my my badge, and of course the animation should work as expected. Now here, this is a bit too much. Let's say 12. It should be quite small. All right, and I think we need a smaller rounding for this, but we will get to that. So 12, and we need a content size fitter with preferred size and preferred size. I'll say 1. Now we need to add some spacing, some padding actually. So I'm gonna add it on the label, extra settings, and I'll say 4, 4, 4, 4, something like that. And now this, I know it doesn't look fantastic, but I can also say a layout element, and I'll say a minimum width and height, preferred width and height. I'm gonna say 32 by 32. There you go. And I'm gonna center this like so. So this will be my label. Let's make it a bit bigger, maybe 16, 20. I don't know how big this is. I don't think it's too big. 24. Make it out of size. No, make it like that. So 24. So if it's 999, now it should grow. And let's give it a flexible width. Minimum width, let's say 32 and 32. Let's remove that. Okay, perfect. So now I can say nothing, or maybe I can say one number, make it say new, make it say sale, or spring sale. All right, and I think we need to add a bit more to the left. Let's say 8 and write 8. Yeah, much better. UIBadge label. All right, so this would be my badge. And I can show and hide. Let's also add a button or maybe an icon, and let's add the badge to it so we can have a better understanding of how it works. So let's go to Doozy UI menu. And then we will start adding the functionalities that we want to add. General. Do I have a message, something? Yeah, send email. So let me add this component here. Let's see how this looks. Not so. Doozy UI menu, components, general, mail. What's the name of it? Send mail, maybe. Yeah. All right. So this is my button, and I would like to add a badge inside of it. So I'm gonna add it right here, and I'm gonna put it right there. All right. And this is my fantastic badge. I think it's a bit too much. Let's make it smaller. So let's go to our sizing for the label. I'll say, let's say 24 by 24. Yeah, that's much better. And let's say here -8, -8, nah, -4, -4, something like that. So now I have a button that I can click and a notification for it. Let's also add it. We can also add it inside the container, so we can animate that if we want to do it. I don't think we need to do it, but let's leave it like. Okay, so now I have, let's say, 2 messages. It already grew a bit too much. 20, 18. All right, this should be okay. If I say 16 messages, yeah, 2 messages. 16. Need to, yeah, there you go. And I can also hide the badge. Now the animation is in that corner, so I need to adjust the pivots. The pivot, 0.5 and 0.5. And let's check it out. Hide. Oh, it shouldn't have changed the position. And I think custom start position is the problem. All right, so hide and show. There you go. All right, I also want to test some sounds for it before I add some actual functionality. So this is a notification sound, right? So I want to add a notification sound. I have Soundy installed here, right? Because this is the basic project. Where's the dashboard? Yay, I have Soundy. Perfect. So let's add, do I have a ding sound maybe? I think a star pickup. This would drive me insane. No. Bubble pop. Perfect. I'm going to use that one. So whenever I'm going to, let's say this is always instant hide. All right. So whenever this notification is sounded, this badge is shown, I would like to hear a pop sound. All right. So I'm going to use the, what did I just do? Did I add anything? Layout element? No. So I want to add a component here. So I'm going to go to Doozy UI. This is a container, add-ons, and I'm going to say Soundy audio. And on show, I'm going to say bubble pop. There you go. So let's enter play mode. And whenever a new message comes, this should, did I click it correctly? So bubble pop. Yeah, it should be okay. There you go. So let's add a new, let's say hide. Let's say 5 new messages, 5 messages have arrived. So this will receive the signal. Bam, 5. Now, usually I would like to hide the badge So basically, whenever I open the messages, let's also add a UI view and show the view with messages, just so we have a real live system, right? So let's add, I'm just gonna play with this a bit. So let's say this will be my nav bar, navigation, or top nav bar. All right, let's put it on top, and let's say 64. Let's add a background just so we have something to work with, and it will be nicer for this video just to show you a real use case. Give me a dark background. This will be my background. All right, and I would like to my navigation bar. Should be right here. I would like it to have my icon here. So I'm just gonna inject it right there and put it right over there, minus 16. And let's say, yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I enter, I also want to add a color here because it doesn't look that great, to be honest. So something like that. Maybe a complementary color to this. So let's go something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I hate it. Yeah, let's go with a off-white maybe. All right, let's enter play mode. So now this is my mail, and whenever I receive a new mail, bang, I have this, right? Bang, or maybe the label is empty, and I'm just using it as a simple show, something like that. Of course, this resolution looks awful because it's quite low, and I did that on purpose. We should have 1920 by 180, something like that. This would be a proper resolution. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to see it. Maybe something like that again, but let's go with a half resolution. So 800 by 600, so you can see it. All right. That's pretty much it. Okay, like I said, I want a, what do I want? Let's add some content. I need my messages, right? So let's add a Doozy UI containers. And what do I want? Oh, actually, I want to add it from here. UI menu, containers. Let's add a simple view. All right, and this will be my messages. So I'm going to say custom demo messages. All right, I'm going to use that. Let's also rename it so we know what it is. Hide, show. Let's hide from the bottom. Yeah, I think it should be right here. And let's show it. Actually, I need a content. Create empty, and this will be my content. Let's make it as big as possible. And let's add a view right here on the content. And this will have a top margin of 64, if I remember correctly. And this will be my messages. All right. And I think this can also be a smaller window. Yeah, just leave it like that. All right. Okay. Actually, it should be on top of everything. Let's just hide the nav bar. So this will come from the bottom. From the bottom and leave to the bottom. All right. And let's also add a close button right here. So I'm going to say Doozy UI menu, components, general, and I'm going to say close. All right, let's put this right there. Where is it? Close. Yeah. So whenever we click this, I'm gonna close the window. Do I want to use a flow? Yeah, we can use a flow. Let's also create a flow controller. Let's go to, I think I want to add an example. So I'm going to say E27 UI badge. Create folder E27 badge. All right. What do I have here? Oh, it's the scene, right? So I'm going to save the scene. Doozy examples E27 badge. There you go. Now we have a proper example ready to work. All right. Now this uses Soundy for this to work, and I really don't think that is a good idea, but I will change that later. I'm going to select the notification sound and provide it. Actually, I can add it here. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so one way of doing it is just to say on click, I'm going to say hide for this and not use a flow controller. Actually, let's do that for now. On pointer, on submit, all right? And I'm going to say runtime and editor. Say UI view hide. Perfect. So this will also be, let's move it here, or maybe here. So show hide, perfect. All right. What do I want? I want when I click that messages, that send email, or whatever, let's call it message, messages. Let's say action, action, open messages, let's rename it, button open messages. And for the behavior again, on submit, I'm gonna say runtime and editor, the same view, and I'm gonna say UI view show, right? So now I should be able to have a fully functional, do I have it? This should be instant hide, all right? There you go. Did I put it? So behavior, submit, UI view show, and here, all right. What's happening? Hide show, hide. So why aren't you showing? Come on. What's wrong? Just said don't click. Jesus. Pointer click. Whew. Like I said, this is a long one just because I want to test everything. So I'm going to say show. And here in the X, yeah, I'm going to remove this and then say pointer click. Come on. Editor and runtime. And I'm going to say same view, UI view hide. I think this would have been easier with a flow controller, to be honest. All right, now it should work and close. There you go. Perfect. All right. It doesn't look nice, but yeah, what can you do? So let's also create some messages to add some simple notification, to add some text. And yeah, let's see how this looks. Now, I need to start writing some code. All right. So first of all, I'm gonna add a check to see if it has a label. And okay. UIBadge. All right. So we should have an issue if we do not have a, okay, let's also add this. This is very, has label text. Okay. So what I would like to do is check that this badge has a label, because if it doesn't have one, actually, no, let's just go like that. Let's ignore the partial part of the class. Comment. Okay, let's ignore that this is public, because I'm creating an API basically. And now I'd like to be able to create some methods to set the text of the label. Say public, and say UIBadge, because I want to use method changing if possible, set label. And I'm just going to set the label, right? Set the label text. And this will be text to set. And it returns self for method chaining, right? And now I also want to set a value, because let's say I want to say the number of notifications of messages that I've received, right? And here I'm going to say set the label text. No, this isn't what I want. Public UIBadge set label value. And actually I'm going to say, yeah, value. And here I'm going to say an integer value, and yeah. All right. Now, a lot of times, value to set, and let's also say bool show 0, false. Okay, let's not show 0 value. Let's also add the information. And usually the values will be positive, so the value cannot be negative. So let's also clamp the value. So value equals max from 0 to value. All right, so just make sure that is a positive value. And another thing, a lot of some of these notifications also allow you to say, let's say if I have, let's come back to our use case, just so I know what I'm coding. This is very easy to do actually, but I would like to be able to change it. So basically, if I say 99 messages or maybe 100 messages, I will say 99 plus. Or maybe if I want to say more than 10 messages, I want to say 9 plus or 10 plus, something like that. All right. So usually the hard limit that I think exists is, let's come back to our label right here, is 999 and usually a plus. So basically you have over 1,000 messages and it really doesn't start showing you that. So I think we need a public variable for our settings that limits the number of, so if I say a number higher than 100, let's say I want to clamp the value, actually to not clamp, trim the value. So maybe if I say, instead of say 120, I want to say 99 plus, something like that. So you have over 100 messages. Maybe this is how you want to design your UI. And I don't know, you may want to do that or not. But I want to add an option for it. So here, how long have you been recording this? Can I see? 54 minutes. All right. Hoping I will be done soon enough. So I need to add some other things here. So again, serialize field, private, bool, trim, trim label number, trim label numbers, yeah, and let's say trim, is it trim? Yeah, should the label trim the numbers over a set limit? Yeah, exactly. And I say public trim label numbers. So basically, let's choose the limit. Limit will be 999. Perfect. And now we need to add this option in our set value, right? Because if you use set label, you just set the text and that's it, you're done. But if you set the value, well, all of these other things will get into place. So if, and here say trim value, and value is larger than, then this else, actually I'm going to say value equals trim. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to say plus and result. No, I don't like it. I'm going to say label text will be this. Yeah. And return this. Yeah, I think this is the best course of action. So basically, if I don't like this, this naming, so trim label numbers. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that, but I'm not sure if it's the proper naming. All right. So if I say if this option is enabled and the value is bigger than the limit, then it will trim it and just add a plus. Let's also use concatenation. There you go. So let's also set the value and test it out. All right. Is it well? Yeah, I like it. Perfect. So now I can set the label and I can set the value label. The idea is that you can, because I'm using chaining, I can do the following thing. And I have a tester object that I usually use for testing. Tester, there you go. What's this? No. Come on. Did I delete my class for testing? Yeah, I think I did. So let's add a, say, tester. And this is usually a mono behavior. I usually say namespace, I put sandbox, all right? And just ignore that it's not under the proper location. All right, so what I want to do is I want to be able to show my notification here in various ways, all right? So I'll say public void show badge. Let's also reference this particular badge for this example and say public UI badge, right? And I'll say show badge string and I'll say text, right? And because I'm using method chaining, I'm gonna say show and set label, right? And this, the show, actually I'm gonna say badge set label and then show. Right? So by using method chaining, I'm setting the label to the badge and then I'm showing it. Pretty easy. And I can also say public void show badge value, and I'm going to say set label value. And actually I'm going to say set label text, because I think it's nicer to have So set label text, set label value. All right. And it's easier to work with like that. And this is one way of you doing it. And public void hide, hide badge, and just call hide on it. So this is a very simple way of working with method chaining. Right. So what I want to do, I want to create some buttons in my editor to test various things for my newly created component. Right. Like I said, this would be, and I'm going to also add the settings here. So I need to change the editor a bit. Right. Once it compiles, sorry for the long video, but I don't know how else to do it. To show you this, no more coffee. All right, tea. Finally. All right. So what I said is that I want some buttons right here. So I'm going to create a empty game object, and this will be my buttons, my test buttons. Okay, let's add a tester here. Test the tester component. Let's add our badge. There you go. So you have a reference to it. And now I need, I want to add different buttons. So I would like a, let's put them one under the other, a horizontal layout, a vertical layout group. All right. Let's say a content size filter that, and let's add some buttons. Doozy UI menu, components. Let's add a simple button. All right. And now the button looks awful because it doesn't, actually let's add a flex button. So I do not have to add a layout element and so on. So UI menu, components, button basic, give me a flex button. There you go. Let's remove the icon so it's easier to work with. All right, so I'm gonna say send. So message, one message. All right. So basically, this adds a message. I think I also need a way to show the value so you can increase it, so you don't have to keep track of the number of notifications. That would help. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. One message. And here I'm going to say, let's rename this to one message button. Maybe button, one message, right? And when I click this behavior, I'm going to say on pointer click, add behavior. And I would like to say, oh, let's add this here. And I want to say here, tester, show badge with one message, right? And let's duplicate this and let's say 10 messages. Did I say 10? 10 messages. Let's also rename that. I'm going to say here, the value will be 10. All right. And let's say here 10 messages. Let's also add some spacing and yeah. So let's say 8 and let's expand width. Let's force it. And in order to do that, I'm going to say layout element. Yeah, flexible, perfect. Looks this well. And here, there you go. Let's align it like that. Yeah, I like it. Horizontal fit constraint. No, preferred size. 10 messages. Let's say 100 messages. All right. And this will be 100, and then I'm going to say 1000 messages, just so we see how this looks. All right, and let's add one more, and let's say 1000 messages. All right, and this will be 1000, and let me change the value. And now I also want to add, let's add a empty space. All right, layout element, and let's say minimum height and preferred height, let's say 16 and 16. All right, and let's duplicate this. And now I want to say new. All right, so I'm going to say label new. And here, instead of calling my show badge with a value, I'm going to say with an int. I'm going to say new. All right, and let's say sale, another one. And here again, I'm going to say label sale. All right. And where's my container? Sale. All right. And I think I also want a, I'll say here, one. I would like to increase my value. Yeah. All right. And what else do I want? Well, I want whenever I change the value, I would like to play a instant hide and a show animation. So it disappears and I always get a pop out of it. I think that would be a nice thing. Although I will add a toggle to disable that behavior. I also want a 0 messages. Just a zero messages button, and let's say 0. Okay, and let's also duplicate this space and add it right here, so it's a different, we know it's a different thing. All right, so I'll say 0. All right, perfect. Let's say actually -5 for this test. Okay, let's put this down here. 32 minus 32. 32. All right. So now when I'm going to enter play mode, I can say 0 messages, 1, 10, 100, 1000, new, and sale. All right. So I can change these things. What I do not like here is the fact that I need to, I would like, so as you can see, because we have our limit to 999, it shows like that. So let's add in our badge, I also need a way to hide the badge. Let's also add a button to hide the badge. So where are my buttons? There's buttons. Let's add another button. And this time we're going to say hide badge. All right. So label hide badge, and I think let's change the label to a red, and also the container to a I don't know, a reddish color, something like that, just so I know we're doing something. Yeah, whatever, maybe let's put it like that. And label, let's go with a almost white, off-white. Yeah, so hide badge, and this will say, so remember I'm doing this through our tester, right? So I can also directly select the badge. So tester, hide badge, there you go. And now I can test it out. So I'm gonna say this doesn't mean sale, new, 10 messages, All right. So what I'd like to do now is a way to increase the number. So basically a plus on the notification. So let's add this behavior in my tester class, just so we can test it out and see if it's a good behavior. And I'll say public int, and actually it should be a private. Let's say my last value, right? And say -1. No, not serialize this. All right, and I'll say actually, yeah, it's perfect. So whenever I add a value, last value is value. All right. So now I would like to create another one and say increase value. So public void increase show badge and increase and increment, right? And another one, and I'll say public void show badge and decrement, right? And I also want to limit the last value to 0, so it doesn't go below 0. All right, and that's pretty much it. So let's show our notification, right? So I would like to have a plus and minus buttons, right? Let's also add them, I don't know where, plus minus here maybe, right? Actually, let's initialize that with 0 so we can start instantly. Yeah, this should be the default value. Yeah, so this is a relatively simple component, but we need to treat the use cases and see how we can work with it, right? So let's come back here, and I want to add a plus and minus button. So this, I'm going to say this will be my plus. Let's change the label to a +1, and let's make it green. So I'm going to say +1, and let's add one more. Actually, let me add a horizontal layout group plus minus buttons, and let's say horizontal layout group. And here I say content size filter. All right, I'm going to say preferred. Spacing, I think it was 8. Yeah. And now let's add my plus button here and duplicate this, and this will be my -1. And I think we should go with a red label, maybe something like that. And I'm gonna say -1. There you go. Okay, so now I have my plus and minus buttons, right? So plus. I forgot to set what they should do. So for the minus, I'm gonna say tester decrement by 1, and here I'm gonna say tester increment by 1. All right, let's enter play mode, and now I can increase this and decrease it, of course, and that's the minimum. And if it's 0, I think we should also hide it. So if decrement, if set label, if last value is 0 hide. And let's just not do that, return. And let's do this after, otherwise we show it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's come back here and let's just test it out. All right, so this shouldn't hide, it shouldn't show. 1, 2, and hide. Now, I would like to add an option whenever the value is changed to play the show animation. But if you play the show animation on a visible container, nothing will happen. So I'm going to say instant hide and then show. And let me show you. So I'm going to add this option on the UI badge. And I'm going to say, basically, if this is enabled, whenever you change the value, it will also show this. So I'm going to say serialized field, private bool, play, show, play, or maybe trigger, show, trigger show on label change, right? Show when the label text changes, and I think we need that. And now when we set the label, if trigger your so-called show, there you go. And I need this as well here. But if the value is 0 and don't show 0, then we're gonna call hide, right? Just so we have a nicer user experience. So basically, if I set the value 0, this will automatically hide. That means that what I did here no longer does anything. And I can also remove the show. And so basically, this is how this works. All right. It's very, very easy. Show badge with our value. Yeah. Let's make, since that option is by default available. All right. So now let's test it out. Let's test out the automations. All right, let's check it out. So let's enter play mode, and then we'll work on the editor. So I forgot to instant hide. I forgot to do that. Where is it? Trigger show on label change, and say instant hide. And after that, we do that. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. All right, so instant hide and then show. All right. I think we can revert this. So we have less things to worry about. Yeah, perfect. All right, the code looks fine, it's clean. It doesn't have label return. Return this again. Yeah, I like it. All right, so now we will have an animation and the instant hide before it works. Should be fun. And that's the UI badge, and you will have it available in with the next update, right? So let's increase it. There you go. Now this might be annoying. So 1 message, 10 messages, 100, 1000. I think this didn't trigger it. New sale. I don't know why this hasn't triggered it. Let's check it out. You can see we have a problem with the use case. So when we set the value, yeah, this is why. We did the trim. And I think we need a, so if trim. All right. I don't like this code. I think I need a string variable to have access in the memory. So let's say private string label text. Actually, I'm going to say, let's make it a property. Temp label text. Get set, right? And here I'm going to say temp label text is this. Else label text is that. And finally, I'm going to say label.text equals label text. All right. So I think this is pretty much that's that. All right. Looks good. Let's come back here and test our use case. Let's play it. So there you go. Let's go 1 and let's decrease it. Now, because I decreased it, it should go to 0. So I don't know why it didn't disappear. Let's see that use case. So basically, I'm setting the value. Let's see the tester. All right. So how long have you been recording? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay. So where was I? Set label value, set label value, set label value. If it's 0, show 0 false. And if you're not showing 0, if value is 0 and don't show 0, hide and return this. All right. So this is our use case. So basically, if the value is 0, if you've set the value to 0 and you do not want to show 0, then it's gonna disappear. So this actually is very important, this line, because if you say 5321 unread messages, let's say I have 4 messages and I go 3, 2, 1, and when I go to 0, this should disappear now with that use case. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Looks very well. All right, now I need to start working on the editor side to add all of these options, and we'll be adding them in the sections in the here. Where should we add them? On top or on the bottom? That's the question. I can inject them here as a global settings, or I can just leave them right here. That is a conundrum. Let me see what I did today to the pop-up, because that might help me decide. So let's say UI tooltip, because tooltip, that is also UI container. So I injected the options in under the settings. I see. All right. And what did I do with the UI pop-up? Again, I injected the references here, and then I allowed whatever I wanted to show right here. I see. All right. So we're going to inject them there as well. Remove component, no canvas. All right. So let's come back and get some serialized properties from these. I'm not sure about the naming. So trim label number limit, I don't like it. So trim values, Yeah, let's do it like that. And I'm going to say trim trim value threshold. Yeah, I think that's the best. Oh, still went with the limit. Trim value threshold. All right, I think that is better. Trim values, trim value. Yeah, I like it. And now we have trigger show on label change. Set label value. Trim value threshold. There you go. Now, what I would like to do for this, again, like I said, this is a internal term used to store and avoid unnecessary allocations. Yeah, just so you know what this is and why we need it. Let's put it here as a private variable. Okay, did I do anything here? No. Perfect. Now, what I don't like is that I'm doing a lot of changes in both locations. Let me just create some private void. Yeah, I also need a reset. That's smart. Reset reset label. Reset the label text to 0. Actually to nothing. Set label text string empty. Just so we can reset. And we should also say if trigger show, and then we say instant hide. All right. Perfect. Set label text and instant hide. Yeah, I like it. If this is empty, show empty. All right. So I also want to add an empty state for the XML if it's empty. And I also want to add the equivalent of what we had. Where was it? Here. So if show empty, just false, and just say hide. All right. And reset should be a hard reset. Perfect. Just so we can test various use cases. All right. What did I say I want? So I'm say has label text. All right. What did I say I want? Trigger show on label change true. I want that behavior. So I want to create the serialized property. So I want trim values. So let's go here. Let's say property trim values. Trim value threshold. What did we have? Trigger on show. And did we have anything else? No, that's it. Now I need to get those serialized properties. So this should work like that. All right. And now I need my fields to be able to get them. So these should be together, trim values and trim value threshold. And I think this should have the trigger show on label change should have its own setting. All right. So we need to override update. I need to remember how that is called. Let's say UI tooltip, actually UI pop-up editor. This is a huge system, so I don't know this by heart. There are so many of them. I see I made these protected here. All right. So I said initialize editor, initialize references, and I made them here, initialize settings. All right, so basically I copied everything from here. Yeah, I did a lot of things. So override initialize settings. Let's go here. Initialize settings. And I'm not going to use the base because I just want to inject things. I need the container. Yeah, I'm going to use this. I think we need to import some things inside our system. And let's come back here. Set on show. That's not what I want. And let's make this smaller. So I want everything that is in the base class, and then I want to add a few things over it. So this is my object field for, yeah, actually I don't even need the fields. So here I'm going to say region. What do I want? I want the label reference. Region label and region. And here I'll say object field, label object field. All right. And then I need a label fluid field that I'm not going to be using anymore. Let's put it right here. And let's remove this. And let's also remove this. So we're simplifying everything. And since this is no longer inside that, I think we no longer need to override the compose. Let's use the default one. Let's say var. All right. And what else do we have? So I'm just going to use this for now. And the settings animated container. Let's add all the other auto select after show. I think I want to get it from the base class. So let's go here. I want to get everything from the base class. Just so we go on. Initialize reaction control settings. There you go. So I want start behavior, auto hide, selected. Yeah, I want everything from here. And now I want to inject my, do I need to import anything? Custom start position. All right. So I have my label here. And I would like to inject it. So label fluid field. And I'm just going to say add content. And just add it here for now. And let's also add a space block, but let's say 2x. Let's make it a bit bigger, a bit wider actually. So I have a lot more space. So now I should have a reference to my label injected under the settings. And after that, I want to add the other two settings for my UIBadge. All right, so here I have my label reference. And now I just added more space. And these are the default settings for a container. And of course, when it's hidden, it should work. Perfect. And now I need to add my other settings, which are, for now, I will probably, after this video, I will add a few more other settings and options just to, and do a lot of tests. But I just wanted to show you the thought process and some of the things that go when creating a new component. Again, this is a very, very simple component that I think it will be useful for a lot of use cases. So I have my label here. Let's create a new region. And this will be trim values and region. And what do we have here? We have a switch that I would like to enable. It already knows. Jesus Christ, Copilot is insane. And I also like to set the threshold, yeah, whether it's enabled or not. So do you know that? Jesus Christ, it's fantastic. I haven't written this code, by the way. All right, and now I want a fluid field that has both of these installed. Label, I don't use a label. You messed up. All right. So I'm gonna say, how do I want to show it? Let me look in the editor to see. So basically, I'm gonna say here the limit and then the threshold. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna, exactly like this one, I'm gonna make it. So fluid field, I'm gonna say trim values. Do you know what I want? Let me see. I like what you did there, trim values, but you don't know what I want. Well, actually, when this is off, I would like to have this disabled so that the user knows that this is enabled or not. So let's see how this looks. I haven't added it. Sorry. Oh, let's just inject it right here. So let's duplicate. Let's add a simple space. Let's add this here. And with the help of method chaining, we're creating editors lightning fast. So basically I injected here this option. All right. So let's see how this looks. I hope it looks well. There you go, trim values. Set over limit. I don't like that I have this, and here I'm gonna say limit. So trim over. I'm just gonna add some information because I think I should add the label threshold here, just so we understand what we have. So let's remove the text from here because we're saying it twice, and I don't like that. I think we need a label, threshold label. Yeah, I like it. And I'm gonna say add child, and this will be my threshold label. And yeah, I think this is much better now. Let's see how this looks. I think I need to adjust the label a bit. Trim values threshold. Okay, so I want to make this a bit longer. Let's say 60. It's 40 now. And when I disable this, I just want to add a disable for these two, so that we have a visual cue that this trim values is controlled by this switch. Right? So what did I say I want? Whenever I change, whenever this value changes, actually, let's put these right here. And let's add some functionality. So this property field is enabled if that is enabled. And I also want the label to have the same thing. Now, whenever the value changes for this switch, set on value changed, EVT, and I want to say this will be new value and new value. All right. So just by doing that, we're adding some functionality to it. Let's see. Trim value threshold. I forgot to make this field a bit wider. So now it's enabled. There you go. So basically you can't even interact with it. I think this is a better user experience because it's easier on the eyes. I've done this 100 times. And you also have the tooltips that will always guide you and show you what you should do. Let's make this 60 because 40 is a bit space. Do I have a? No, let's go with 60. All right. So finally, I have one more setting that I've just added, and then I'm gonna stop the video and add some other things and test it and make some proper examples. What did I say? Well, region, something with show, trigger show on label change, right? Again, this will be a what's it called? A switch, fluid toggle switch. Let's see if it knows what to do. All right. And let me check the settings real quick. False and false. All right. And now I need a fluid field, just so we're consistent in our design. And trigger show on label change and just enable and disable. Of course, we can also just put the label here on the inside the fluid field, so it's a smaller footprint. And let's add it right here. Again, let's add some space and let's add the content with it. Let's press save. Yeah, let's come back here and let's see how our editor looks. And now we're able to change the values and do all that good stuff so that you have options when you use this component. Yeah. So trigger show on label change. All right. Trim value threshold. Yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. I do not like this. I would like to say trim values here. Then I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave some space and I say threshold. I think it will look nicer, and I'm also gonna gain some space from here, and it's quite intuitive, right? So let's come back here. And where was I? Yeah, right here. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say threshold right here, and my margin right spacing, and set margin left. It will be a 2x spacing, and then I would like to have my switch have the trim values, and say set label text trim values. I think this will look nicer. So basically, let's make this a bit better to use. Let's check it out. Yeah, so we have trim values and a threshold. Perfect. Let's reset this. And let's remove the custom start position. Let's add our label. And let's see how a normal behavior would be. Why does this have 99 plus? Oh, let's just remove it. And I think we should have instant hide by default. So on start, instant hide should be the default value. So let's do that in awake. Or actually, I'm going to change it later. It's really a small thing, but I would like to have an instant hide. All right, let's enter play mode. So now 1 message, 10 messages, 11, 12, 13. Let's say don't trigger shown label change. So now this will change with ease. Let's say threshold should be 99. So 10 messages, 100 would be 99 plus, and whatever we add over it, it doesn't matter. If we add one more 9 and we add the plus, now we can see the values. That's okay. That's what I want. New, sale, and hide badge. New, sale. Why can I show the badge? Oh, because I didn't say trigger shown label change. Yeah, there you go. New, sale, perfect. Plus, let's go to minus. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I like this behavior. It's a nice component. And of course, you can also change the animation. Let's say I wanted to jump a bit. I can also do that. I'm just showing you now the component, basically. So let's select a preset from our containers. And let's say bounce, load. Let's see how this looks. There you go. So bounce 2, how would that look? 3, 4, 5, okay, 6. I don't care for the rotation. 7, again, not interesting. 8, 9. No, I don't like it. 10, 11. Okay, it's quite slow. 12, 13. Let's try something else. Let's say organic. 2. So many animations. 3, 4, and 5. Come on, give me one. 6. These are so slow. Come on. Give me a bounce. Come on. Give me slide 1. Okay, let's try this one. I really don't like it. 15. Let's make it come from the bottom, actually. Show. Yeah, that's okay. It will look a bit crazy, but it's okay. And so was this back 1? I don't like it. I want it to overshoot. Jesus. Slide 1, I think, right? Let's go with slide 8, for example. Show. Slide 16. I don't like it. 14. Okay. Slide 14 for show, and let's go for hide. Let's go if it's equivalent. So slide 1, 14. All right. There you go. So let's use that for our animation. So there you go. Now we have this this option, new, sale, yeah, whatever. So yeah, this is our UI badge, a new component in this UI Manager. I'm going to change it, of course. I'm going to make some other changes and do some other things to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it will be very useful, especially since I'm going to make some other use cases and I'm going to show some different animations and different flavors for it. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. I know it was quite long and I talked your ear off. I didn't show the UI menu integration. Maybe I'm going to do that in a future video. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for the UI badge. Thank you very much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye. And end screen.